Everyone enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to Hall Around Town Radio's Backstage Hall Pass, a showcase of homegrown talent, mixing independent music with personal interviews and a behind-the-scenes look at our music community. Backstage Hall Pass is your front row center seat to some great conversation with the area's most talented artists. Whether you like rock, blues, folk, country, or R&B, Backstage Hall Pass delivers you a daily dose of the stories behind the music. And now, here's the host of our show, Scott Hall.
All right, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program here on a Monday. It's our weekend update. How's everybody doing out there? You doing all right today? I'm checking on y'all. I got to check a couple of things on the old microphone here. There we go. All right, there we are. How you doing, folks? Make some comments if you're out there. Let me know you're here with us, if you will. Yes. Really? Was my music bad, Dave? Was it bad? If it was, tell me. If there was something going on, or you're just being Dave Worthington. Hello, Ed Sawicki. How are you? Ed, I want to send my condolences to you, my friend. And it's good to see you on here with us. We appreciate you being here. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out what Dave's comment was there. But hello, Carrie. Thank you. Marie Smith. Thank you for being here on a Monday. It's a beautiful day outside. It is. Wonderful, wonderful day. Let me get these in-ear monitors working like they should. You're most welcome, Ed. Hey, good to see you, Eric, yesterday. That was a great day. We had a fantastic day. It's coming up in our programming here. We're going to talk just a little bit about that. I may have to, when they announce the total and so on, get them on the show and talk a little bit more about that one, because there's so much to talk about what went on yesterday at that event at Mr. Burroughs Tavern. So we'll throw that in there somewhere. Hi, Brian Middendorf. How are you? Thank you for being here. Good to see you Saturday night. Rachel, good to see you Saturday night as well. For sure. I got you, Dave Worthington, now. I sort of have you. I don't ever want to say I have you completely. Hollywood in the house. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. And let's see what else we've got shaking today. Dewey's here. Hi, Dewey. Happy Monday. Saw him over the weekend as well. And Glenn on the YouTube channel checking in. Thank you, Glenn, for being here today. Appreciate it. Happy Monday to everybody. And yeah, got good info on the icon. You said, all right, good. I'm glad to hear it. And, of course, I start the live show and someone rings the doorbell. They do every single stinking day. I don't get it. I don't get it. If you can hear the dogs barking in the background, that's why. Hi, Steve. 70 degrees in Loveland. How about that? Good deal. Well, it's supposed to be 70 on St. Patty's Day. We're looking forward to that one. I hope you're looking forward to it as well. Anybody else having the Chinese movie issue out there with the lips not matching the voice? I am. But that could be all these folks who are doing the work in our neighborhood. They're still doing broadband work. They're installing a whole new broadband system in our neighborhood. And boy, does it mess with the Wi-Fi stuff. It does. What else we got here? I've got to talk about a couple things. I just want to get to your comments if I can. Hi, Gary. How are you? Glad you had a great evening with Ace Frehley. And if you could throw, Gary, I don't know if you've thrown that in the comments on our post earlier today, but if you could do that sometime and add a little bit more to it and let everybody know how that was, I'd love to hear about it. Sounded like it was going to be a great show. Our friend Nikki Starr from Arena Rock Show was there, I know. But some good things going on with Ace Frehley in concert. Hi, Sean James. Hi, Don. How are you? Thanks for being here. And audio and video are better than usual. Thank you. Well, that's good. Maybe they're fixing it finally, because it's a pain. I've tried. Everybody does live streaming. There's all kinds of opinions on how to do it, whether you should be plugged into an Ethernet cable, whether you should use the Wi-Fi or whatever you're doing. There's no great solution, believe me. Never. Here's Glenn's lineup for the weekend. He was at Rick's Friday. Yes. With Acoustic Blue and Varner and Netherton Revival. Good deal. Glad to hear you went there. Yeah. It's a little mighty for me. Saturday night at the Icon Center for Billy Strings. Said the crowd was like Grateful Dead goes bluegrass. That's funny. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let me get to our weekend real quick, guys. We had a bang up weekend. It was crazy. I started on Thursday night at the Bell and the Bear Jam, as we do most Thursdays, and got a chance to be down there and enjoyed ourselves. And I hate this camera. Hang on a minute. There we go. That's a little better. Bell and the Bear Jam. Good things happening every Thursday night, and I could go on and on about the people there, but there's some usual suspects who are there. Rick Kern was hosting, and his vocals were amazing. He's from Blackbone Cat and the Eagles Project. And then, of course, Dave Wade from DV8 was there, and numerous other people, Chelsea Calloway, just a host of folks who made that night very special, as they always do on Thursday nights. So we had a great time with them. And if there's somebody you saw over the weekend, guys, and you haven't posted it on our call for on the page, you can certainly post it here in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. I'm not going to dwell on Thursday night. We talk about it all the time. If you haven't been to the Bell yet, you're missing out. That's all I got to say. Jam night is very special. And then I want to move on to Friday night because, but before I hit Friday, I've got to talk about one thing. I'm going to get on a little soapbox for just a minute. I never do that. Let me get on a soapbox for just a second. Take a second, if you can read it, as I post it up here on the page. If you can see this, I want you to read a statement today from Dolly Parton, if you can see it. And I'll paraphrase it. Basically, she's saying, thanks for considering me for the Rock Hall of Fame, but I respectfully decline, because she's not a rock and roller. For once, yes. For once, ladies and gentlemen, someone stood up and said, basically in a nice way, which is what Dolly does, why the hell do you call it the Rock Hall when you're going to put people like her in? Yes. And I love what she says about her husband being a total rock and roll freak and all that. And she just knows she's not rock and roll. How about that? Anybody have a comment on that? Make some comments, people. Yes, I would love to. Thanks for sharing, Fran. I appreciate that. And yeah, Steve says Dolly's a class act. Yes, she is. Always has been, always will be. And Hollywood says she's fantastic. Good for her. Eric said, yeah, it's about damn time. Because, I mean, there's people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame who are fantastic performers, but they're nowhere close to rock and roll. And if you're going to call it rock and roll, call it rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's going to be funny this year? Eminem's going to get in. Now, I like Eminem's music. I think he's very progressive. I think there's a lot of things with Eminem that are positive for me. But I don't think he's rock and roll. And he'll probably not show up if he gets put in and make a statement in that kind of fashion as well. But he hasn't declined it. Maybe Dolly will be the start. She might be the start of this thing to do it. And he says she's rocking something that ain't music. Well, she's always been rocking. But Chris Thompson said she said it perfectly. She did. It's perfect. And that's exactly what needed to be said a long time ago by so many people. And leave it to Dolly Parton to do it. Leave it. Yeah, she's an incredibly caring and humble person, as Scotty Long said, very much so. So Jim Kilroy had a great week. He said David Taylor, Foley's, and back to Foley's for Six String Hustle with Jason Roy and Vaughn Sutherland sitting in for Seven West. All did a great job. Wonderful. Douglas says exactly about Dolly. I know. And, Don says, hopefully they listen. Notoriously, however, the Rock Hall of Fame has turned a deaf ear to everyone when they complain or, jump down their throats about rock and roll not being in it, a.k.a. Eddie Trunk. Yes, Eddie Trunk is one who he's on the actual voting board. His vote counts, and yeah, he goes on a tangent about this a lot of times. But I was glad to see that from Dolly Parton, and yeah, as Hollywood said there, look at the bands that aren't in it. I mean, there's so many great rock bands that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yet the Go-Go's are going in and things like that. And, you know, nobody I ever say that about, I have negative feelings towards. There's very few that have been put in the Rock Hall that don't deserve accolades. I mean, they really are great bands, but change the damn name then. Call it the Music Hall of Fame if you want to do that. I mean, we've got a Country Music Hall of Fame. We've got an R&B Hall of Fame. We've got a Rockabilly Hall of Fame. I mean, why not make it something else? But yeah, rock and roll should be in it. Brian said he saw the Purple Madness tribute show at the Blue Note Friday night with the DAT band opening for them. That was, I understand that was a fantastic show from what everybody said. Gary, I knew you'd get it to Kiss here, but 31 years put Kiss in. Yeah. And don't believe for a minute the fan vote counts, Gary. Look it up. Read about it. Look it up. The fan vote does not mean anything for the Rock Hall of Fame. That it's like less than 1% of the actual decision making is the fan vote. So keep that in mind. Yeah. Awesome. There we go. All right. Pop Music Hall of Fame. Yeah, you know, or whatever you want to call it. But I got to get going here. We got to talk about our weekend. I want to tell you about some great bands that we saw over the weekend. First of all, started out at a little place in Centerville, Ohio on Friday night called Zink's Market. It's a meat market deli, but they serve food. They have, you know, you can buy steak by the ounce if you want and have it prepared and all that. The food was fantastic there, but Zink's is a really neat little place, a wine bar, got a full bar of liquor, everything. And the Marthas were playing there. If you don't know the Marthas, all right, they're a fantastic group here locally. A couple ladies who do unbelievable things, and they did give me a CD of their stuff, but unfortunately, I can't play it because it's a cover CD, and y'all know how that ends up with the Book of Face and YouTube. So we can't play any of the songs for you to hear them, but I will encourage you to like their page called the Marthas. They also have a band called Spill the Wine where they extend the Marthas out to 3 more players, and Tony and Kathy were playing that night, and they're 2 of the nicest ladies you'll ever meet, first of all. And then to mention, let me give you some of the songs they were singing. I made some notes here, and I'll have to always look at my phone to do that. But they did, you know, Van Morrison, they moon dance. They played Fleetwood Mac. Then to, you know, things like Girl Crush, A Big Yellow Taxi, if you know that one. Anticipation, Carly Simon tune. Chucky's in Love. Valerie, Amy Winehouse was in there, Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, and Since I Fell for You, just to name a few of the fantastic songs we heard for 2 hours with the Marthas on Friday night. And had some events over the weekend with some friends of ours, and ended up that we were kind of booked to do. And Julie says, love the Marthas, and that's good. And yes, she's seen them. They are wonderful, wonderful. And Gary says it doesn't matter. It's correct about the fans voting. You will not find anything up there donated by Kiss. Period. Yeah, they know. I mean, the band knows. Most bands know. Most rock bands know that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is nothing but a moneymaker. I'm going to say it out loud. It's a moneymaker for them, and that's where it's at. But the Marthas, man, they killed it on Friday night. We had a blast with them. Enjoyed talking to the ladies. I haven't seen them in a while. We had a nice chat about music and the old days in music here in the Dayton music market and all that that they've been playing in for a long time. We'll just leave it at that, a long time. But yeah, the Martha's a great variety set and wonderful vocals. The 2 ladies, they use a little bit of a harmonizer that just, and one thing about them and their harmonizer, they don't overdo it like a lot of solo acts do with those kind of things where you're sitting there hearing a guy play and it sounds like there's 4-part harmonies going in the background. They use it to fatten the vocals up a little bit. Kathy playing the keyboard, Tony playing the guitar. It's just really a sweet show. So if you get a chance, guys, like the Martha's Page, if you can catch one of their shows, they usually play early wherever they play. It's like 6 to 8 o'clock. So if you can pop out on a Friday night or something, catch them in a place for dinner, and then you can move on and go somewhere else like we did. I think I've got, let me see. Do I have a couple Martha's pictures here is the question. Let me see what I have. I might. Yeah, let's get that's them set up. A really kind of crappy picture. I'm not a photographer. I'm not an Ed Sawicki by any way, shape, or form. But there's a picture of the ladies in the Marthas playing, and then that's where that was, and that's the only one I've got right now to show you. But I've got some individual pictures that are up on our page if you want to check that out. All of our photos from the weekend will be posted today sometime, but we're working on editing a few of those. And then we moved on down the road. Some friends of ours own the Soft Rock Cafe in Centerville. I've mentioned it before. It's a little joint that's been doing karaoke for now over 15 years. And that's all they do. And it's a blast. It's so much fun. And we went there with our friends and their daughter, who happened to be pictured here, who was singing and having a great time. And my good friend Kurt there, who does the karaoke hosting. Most of you have been there, know Kurt. He's a hoot and a lot of fun. And we had a blast there at the Soft Rock Cafe. And it's nothing but singers all night long. And it was the snowy night there on Friday night. So a lot of people didn't go out. And the singing rotation was only about every 30 minutes. Most of the time there, every 2 hours you get to sing if you're lucky, because it's that crowded. But really a great time. And the Soft Rock Cafe. Oh, that I don't want to put that one up. All right. Really a good time at the Soft Rock Cafe. So we enjoyed ourselves, stayed out a lot too late for the next day. But we had a good time. And thanks to Mark and Nicole, the owners, and Kurt for always showing us a great time there and having a blast. We did a lot of singing and a lot of laughing and a lot of fun with our friends. So those pictures are up on our page as well. So I'm looking for comments, guys. Make some comments today. Let me know you're out there. Lee Dixon in the house. I'm going to get to him in just a few minutes as we talk about our weekend here. Hi, Celia. Thank you for being with us today. Appreciate you dropping by. And there's Gary's opinion on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And yeah, it's interesting. If you ever get a chance, you're in Seattle, Washington, go to the Jimi Hendrix Experience. There's more Kiss memorabilia in there than anything. It's really a cool place. And it's like the Rock Hall, but better. Jimi Hendrix Experience. Check it out in Seattle if you're ever there. But I need to keep moving on here. I've got some more to talk about, and I want to move into, certainly our Friday night was a blast. Like I said, Mrs. All around town doing her usual good singing and some other things going on there. And I got to sing with Lee Dixon yesterday, which was fun. Had a blast doing that. I think I bum rushed him to do it, but I want to talk about Saturday night for a minute, though. Saturday night, Blue Note Harrison. Anytime we go to the Blue Note, it's a blast. Took in Dreamboat Annie. And first of all, let me lead into who was playing before them. Excalibur was in the pub, and Excalibur is a fantastic band. And they played in the pub, which is a little area that holds a couple hundred people, maybe at the Blue Note at the most. And it's kind of the opening act place and all that. It was fun. They were having a good time. The crowd was into them. Pre-gaming for the Dreamboat Annie show, and then the Rock show, as it was called, which is a Journey tribute. Now, I'm going to talk about Dreamboat Annie, though, for a minute. Here's Ann Coleman and Melissa Singer-Reed. They front the band Dreamboat Annie with the powerhouse vocals they both have. And Ann and Melissa, again, another power woman couple up there on the stage who are so humble and so nice and just welcoming to everybody that comes to their shows and appreciative of everybody that comes to their shows as well. And they should have rock star status. I mean, these two ladies absolutely put on an amazing show with a band backing them up that is made up of such professionals. I mean, so many professionals. Like Dave Wade from DV8 fame. He is on the bass there. A great guy. Jim Cuesta on the keyboards. Brian Coleman on lead guitar. And one of the best drummers you'll ever hear, Doug Drew. Doug Drew playing drums. So killer show. The production team of DV8, they're helping them with their show, and everything you could ever imagine from Heart. And they had to pack it into a small window. And I've got the set list if I can find it really fast here. Let me see, and I'll tell you a few of the songs since you all missed it. There it is. Things like "Kick It Out," power songs out of Heart, "Straight On," "Magic Man," "These Dreams," "Even It Up." "All I Want to Do," "Never," "What About Love," "Crazy on You," "Barracuda," and then they ended up the evening. And here's a picture of the band, by the way. Dreamboat Annie ended up the evening doing "Stairway to Heaven." Now, mind you, the Blue Note that night had a sold-out crowd, about 700-800 people. 700-800 people in this room that absolutely, I felt like I was at a huge rock show that was in a massive arena at the noise of the crowd when they finished up playing "Stairway to Heaven." For those of you not familiar with Heart, Ann Wilson did an amazing version of "Stairway to Heaven," paying tribute at the Kennedy Center honors to Zeppelin. And Melissa rivals that performance, let me tell you. And Ann on acoustic guitar on that, it was amazing. And just a really cool, that's a little picture of them into that portion of the show. And just an amazing, amazing night with Dreamboat Annie. And the funny part was, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you were Heart yourself. You wouldn't want to follow that act. And I felt bad for the guys from the rock show, to be honest with you, because they powerhoused this hour and a half set. Dreamboat Annie did. And if there's any large venue owners watching the show, or anybody that knows large venue owners, and you can put Dreamboat Annie into your schedule, highly recommend it. You will not be disappointed, and you will make money. Let me tell you, because they are a draw. And, I will say there were a lot of people there to see, the Journey tribute to the rock show, obviously. But there were just as many people there, if not more, to see Dreamboat Annie. And because the word is getting out about how good they are. And there's a lot of Heart fans out there. And definitely. Let me see who else. I'm looking at your comments, guys, as I'm trying to get in there. And hi, Jill. Thank you for being here. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope to see you soon. Steve Stein, thank you very much. Tom says powerhouses, all of it. Yeah, just absolutely badass, man. That's all I can say about him. I mean, sorry about that, but absolutely badass. So good. Miss you too, Jill. And Glenn said first show he's ever missed of Dreamboat Annie. Well, you missed a good one, because every time I've seen them, they get better and better and better. And this one was crazy. Rachel says, love Dreamboat Annie. Rachel, wasn't that fantastic? I mean, it was just a huge show and so much fun. And then the guys from the rock show, as it's called, it's a Journey tribute band, came out. And like I said, I felt bad for them in a way, because let me move some pictures there. There they are on stage. It's hard to see. But the guy singing looks like Steve Perry. Of course, they're wearing some wigs and things like that. I don't know. The wig thing, make it or break it for me. But his vocals were great. Honestly, I thought his vocals were fantastic. And he hits the Steve Perry right on. But they did come out and open with a less than familiar song for a lot of people. I mean, there's Journey freaks, just like every band that follow them know every song Journey does. And then some that, they only know the big hits and whatever. I would have expected, following what went on with Dreamboat Annie, they would have come out of the gate with something that just absolutely slammed everybody in the face. The musicians were good, but after that performance of Dreamboat Annie, the show just a little bit, I don't want to dog the guys. They were good, but they're a national touring act. And I think they made a comment that they should have opened for Dreamboat Annie, and probably should have. So, Blue Note, hats off to you for another amazing night of music. We had a blast. Excalibur killed it. Dreamboat Annie killed it. And, the rock show, it's a shame sometimes because those national acts come on after everybody else has played, and it's later in the evening. People are starting to get a little tired and this and that. And, Blue Note's a haul. If you're coming even from places in Cincinnati, it's a haul to get out there. So a lot of times people start to check out and the crowd starts to thin a little. And despite the musicianship and the fact that they could spot on sing Steve Perry, I mean, they could. And the drummer did Neil Sean. And I mean, there was some good stuff that went on there. But again, Blue Note, packed house. We got there, gosh, it was 6:30 and had to park in the grass. I mean, it was that full. So really, really good times at the Blue Note. I do want to talk about yesterday just for a minute briefly, because I'm going to try to dwell on this a little bit more on the show. But I'll give you a picture here. We opened the event yesterday at Mr. Burroughs Tavern. It was their 5th anniversary, and the Harry Clevenger Scholarship Fund, Memorial Scholarship Fund, I should say. Harry passed away at a very young age and is missed greatly by his family. And one of those family members happens to be Marcy from Mr. Burroughs. He was her nephew. And they decided to do a scholarship in his honor. And boy, there was a lot of money raised yesterday. We had a blast with it. We had raffles. I mean, we had giveaways. We had bands. It was in the usual crowd at Mr. Burroughs, who was very caring and giving bunch of people, jumped all over it. And we just had a great day. It started out cold. It did. It was very chilly for the start. And everything was supposed to be outside under a tent with heaters and all that. And ended up moving Until Rust in. They moved them in the morning, and they played. And there's the boys, Rob and Shane from Until Rust. And not only was it Mr. Burroughs' 5th anniversary, but, they were raising money for this fundraiser. So started out there where it was kind of chilly, and they played from noon until 3:00 with just a short 10-minute break maybe. And really, as you know, everybody loves Until Rust. The whole crowd was into it, and certainly they were a great way to open the event. We did a lot of raffles, a lot of 50/50s and giveaways and things. Here's a group of Harry's nieces, nephews, family members, sister who's right there beside me. And we were having fun with them because they can sell tickets. Let me tell you, the kids can sell tickets. They know how to make that happen. And they were a big part of that. We had sound set up on the inside, sound on the outside, and a really good time. Unfortunately, Stony Doparella could not make it yesterday. They ended up canceling. And then Velvet Crush hit the stage about 3:30 outside. And David Garwood and Chris Thompson filling in for Dave's brother, Gary, who normally plays with the band. Dave Hurley in there. Just a great group of guys playing fantastic music out under the tent. The garage door was open into Burroughs, so everybody on the inside could hear the show going on outside. And Velvet Crush did their usual, crushed it as they always do. They've got a huge following, especially in the Springboro area, and crushed it. So we were glad to be there with them. Hollywood was there with us. He was. And Glenn saying, great set. Yeah, there you go. You know what I'm saying. And Dewey, he said the Journey tribute did themselves a favor by inviting Melissa up to sing Separate Ways in any way you wanted at the end of their set. Yes. And Dewey, you were there. I mean, you know as well as I do. Had they not had Dreamboat Annie opening for him, if it just been maybe a little acoustic act or something, there would have been a lot more energy into that Journey tribute band. But when you follow the powerhouse vocals of Melissa Singer Reed and Ann Coleman, it's a tough act to follow, as they say, big shoes to fill there. And Hollywood was there yesterday at Burroughs, and he had a great day too. We did a lot of talking, a lot of introducing him to people, so he got to know some of the people up in this end of the world, and it was a good time. And one of the things that went on there at Burroughs yesterday was the unbelievable entertainment all day. I mean, Until Rust just blows it away. Velvet Crush, great job as always. And then the highlight of the day for everybody was the Kevin McCoy band in a mashup with Ashley Martin. Now, they'd never played together before. They got up on the stage and just did a superb job. I mean, it was an amazing job. And, Kevin McCoy's fun to begin with. Lee Dixon, he's a rock star. And, Eric on bass, just good stuff. Catfish, all those guys, fantastic. Well, you put Ashley with them. The harmonies were amazing. The whole mashup of the different songs were amazing. And we had a blast with them. And they played from 6 to 8 o'clock because that was just perfect because, with the time change now and all that started to, and by the way, I was dragging yesterday from that. I stayed a little long at the Blue Note and then realized the clock was bumping an hour. So that was a long day. But really, really a cool time there. And I'll dwell more on this. We'll talk more about the totals and all the things that were raised for the Scholarship Foundation. But the Harry Clevenger Memorial Scholarship Foundation, just all the volunteers, the people that were there and did that, it was a great thing. And Lee saying Ashley was a great addition. So good. Yeah. And she killed it as well, man. She always does. She's one of those that can walk in 2 minutes before the show and step up with her acoustic and just blow you away. She's a pro. And so is Mr. McCoy, Mr. Dixon, and all of them. They just know what to do. And Lee, thanks for letting me share a mic with you for a minute. I appreciate that. We had some fun yesterday and raised a lot of money. So that was good. And I see your comments, Connie, about them at JD Legends on Saturday night. Kevin McCoy Band was there. Got to see that. So, guys, we have a post on our page if you want to drop any comments on it about who you saw and give the venue a shout out too. That's very important. And we had a ball yesterday. And, and congratulations to Marcy and Rick and their staff. Their staff yesterday just kicked butt. But it was a great time, and they have been there for 5 years supporting local musicians, man. That's what they do. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, they bring you local music. And a lot of the people we talk about on the show get to play Mr. Burroughs, and it's a nice venue, nice people there. It's not, they just did a remodel basically for a couple of days, put a new floor in, did some painting and things like that in the place, and it's really cool. So hats off to them for 5 years of business in Springboro. That's a long time. That's a lot of ordering and a lot of working. It is. Julie said, great day of music. It was good to see you there, Julie, and Tony from the J. Clark Band. He was there. And a lot of musicians. I saw Ty Richard from Truck. I didn't get a chance to talk to him much, but he was in the house. Shane and Rob stayed around for a long time, listened to the music. We just had a good time. So we'll dwell on that a little more, probably on tomorrow's show a little more. But that's where we were at. So wonderful, wonderful time. There is a lot going on here this week for live music. And let me tell you, our Who's Playing Out show that's normally on Thursdays so you can plan your weekend with our list is going to be on Wednesday this week. Reason being, there's so many shows on Thursday for St. Patty's Day. We want to make sure that you know about it. Okay. And we want to get it to you on Wednesday. So 5 o'clock Wednesday, we will forego Wednesday with the band this week. And that will be our show at 5 o'clock on Wednesday with Who's Playing Out, brought to you by Froggies in Monroe. Not to mention, I'm going out on St. Patty's Day this year. I have decided not to work. If you were expecting our live remotes all day Thursday from different venues, sorry. I worked it last year. It was long, hard, and I'm a year older. So, plus, once you bounce to these places and get in, it's hard to get a parking place, hard to get in, get set up with your equipment. All those things, it's not as easy as it may sound. So Julie saw J. Clark Band at the phone booth and then White Knuckle Weekend at the Little York over the weekend. Good deal. Thank you. Yes, I had a huge busy week of music this week. And honestly, I had a crazy week. I did Tuesday trivia at Burroughs, Wednesday at the Bell, Name That Tune trivia, and then Thursday at the Bell Jam, Friday night with the Marthas and Soft Rock Cafe, and then on Saturday, the Blue Note for Dreamboat Annie and the Rock Show along with Excalibur. So that's our weekend, and I'm taking a day off on Thursday, Julie. I am. And I will certainly get some pictures put up tonight of the event at Mr. Burroughs. I'll also have some pictures up, more pictures up of Dreamboat Annie and the Rock Show. We'll get those up on our page a little later on this evening. So thank you so much for being here today, guys. Hope you had a good time with us. We had a great time with you. We'll be back tomorrow, Top 5 Tuesday. Maybe I can squeeze somebody in from Burroughs to talk tomorrow. may have a guest from Autism Rocks as well. We're not sure. It might be fundraiser day. We might be talking about all those great totals. I think Mr. Burrow is going to make a great one-day total, to be honest with you. You know, Autism Rocks reported the other day $78,000. $78,000 in one day. That was good for them. But keep in mind, that's done over an entire year period with corporate sponsorships, and you got the Bengals behind you and the Reds and those people who, some people that have some money, and they certainly aren't afraid to share it a little bit. So that's some good things too. So thank you, Hollywood. I appreciate you, man. And I can't tell you this guy, man, Hollywood from Pullman Lanes and Scott's Bar and Grill, guys, he's light years ahead of most people with his marketing and all the things that go on down there. And I'm going to start calling him the Godfather of Hamilton or something. I don't know. He's got something going down there. It's a good thing. So thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you very much. Until next time, that's tomorrow at 5:00. Hopefully you'll have a good, safe music night. And if you're not seeing music tonight, put your feet up, take a break, because it's going to be a long week. Thursday, 72 degrees and sunny for St. Patty's Day. Can't wait, guys. We'll see you soon. I'm Scott Hall, your host. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.